Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Chris. You may know me from the Northeast Corridor Simulator Development Facebook page group. I occasionally do mods for Train Sim World. I used to do mods for Train Sim Classic, not so much anymore, mainly Train Sim World. I figured today would be the day that I go ahead and make a tutorial on how to take raw audio that you have for Train Sim World, whether it be horn sounds, engine sounds, whatever it may be, audio wise. I'm going to show you how to take that audio from scratch, whether it's a YouTube video that you have, a video from your that you recorded yourself, and you want to take that audio, pull that audio from that video, and simply put it into the game. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that today. I've looked around, and to this day, there just doesn't seem to be really any videos out there that I've seen that really show you how to do this from scratch. I know there's videos out there that will show you how to take mods from, say, Train Sim Community and drag and drop those into your game folder. I mean, that's very simple to do, but what we're talking about here is you, the creator, taking audio that you want and editing that and putting it into the game yourself. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into this and try to make it as short as possible while trying my best to show you how I do this process. And it may seem a little complicated at first, but I tell you, once you do this, a few times, you'll start to get it down pretty good. Yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Okay, so the very first thing that you're going to need is this Train Sim World modding folder. And this folder was actually created by Joseph Krink. Joseph, I hope I just said your last name right. So he created this folder a few years ago, and this is what I learned to do audio modding from. There's a little README in here. He explains very well how to take audio that you have and how to put it in the game. So you can read through this. This is kind of why I'm doing the video today, to give you a visual representation on how to install audio. Well, actually, like I'm saying, how to actually take raw audio, edit it, and then put it into the game. So this right here shows you just the second part on how to put it in the game. So anyway, that's there if you want to read it. The packing script in here is another important piece that you're going to need to create the pack. You can see there's a program called UModel in here. You're going to want to download UModel. Very important, right here. It's actually called UE Viewer now, but I still call it UModel. On Gildor's homepage, I'll leave the link for this down in the description, but Gildor's homepage, scroll down, download Windows 32 version. Go ahead and hit download on that. I obviously already have it, but here it is downloading. I'm showing you in real time. So here it is. It comes up, and you got UModel, and you got UModel 64. If you have a 64-bit computer, you can use the 64. I think both work just fine for what we're doing here. So once you have this downloaded, take UModel, the application, and throw it into this folder here. And then the other thing is the shortcut to the Unreal Engine folder that we're going to be using to create the pack file. So if this isn't already in here, which I can't remember, I think this is what you have to do yourself on your own computer, because obviously everybody's file location might be slightly different. So anyway, you go through your computer drive to program files, to Epic Games, Unreal Engine 4.26, Engine, Binaries, Windows 64, and just make a shortcut. It's just easier to get back to this folder when it comes time, and throw that right into, if I didn't mean to do that, go back, throw that shortcut right into your modding folder, and you'll be just about ready to go. So going back to this README, you can see the first thing he says is to download the Unreal Engine 4.26. So once you have the U model installed, you have the shortcut created. Now all you have to do is download Unreal Engine. So to do that, all you got to do is download the Epic Games launcher, have that ready, and then go to library here, go to engine versions, +. This is going to pop up. It's going to want you to download the newest version. Don't do that. Go to the list here of versions and download 4.26. You have to download 4.26. That is the version that works to do this modding. So download 4.26. Go ahead, start it up. All you're going to want to do is create a new project. The first time you do a project, there's probably going to be shaders to load. That may take a little bit, but once that is done, you just go back to the same project that you created, and you usually will not have to, not sure why that just closed out. You usually won't have to load many shaders each time you ship files. So open the project I have here, and this is where you're going to, this bar down here is where you're going to paste audio. Once you have it made, we'll get to that, but I'm just showing you here the programs that you need to have ready to go. So Unreal Engine, U model, those are the two big programs to have installed. So moving on here. Okay, so now you have those programs installed along with the modding folder, and really to start you just need some audio, right? So whether that's a YouTube video or it's audio that you have already, I'll use the YouTube example. So with your YouTube video, to pull that audio, all you simply have to do is come to this converter, YouTube to MP3 converter, take that link from the YouTube video and paste that right in here. Make sure MP3 is selected, convert, and then it'll say download that audio, and then take that audio, and you're going to want to use a program like Audacity. You can use any audio editing software that you like. I like Audacity, so download Audacity. So that's the other program you need. So take that audio that you just pulled from your YouTube video, and if it's not from a YouTube video, I just have this other one here, MP4 to MP3 converter, cloud convert. So you just take, say it's a video from your phone that you put on your computer, you just drag and drop that here. It's the same exact thing, except you're taking that video you already have. So that's the only difference there. So anyway, you have that audio downloaded in your downloads folder, and all you got to do is take that audio here. For example, I have this. So that's the start file. Here's the loop. Go ahead and mute that. So you have your audio in here. Obviously, this is audio that's already been edited. There's a start, a loop, and an end file. Typically, that's what you're going to have, is a start, loop, and end file made. So moving on from that, you want to go ahead and find your, simply find the Train Sim World folder. So to do that, you want to, for me, Windows C drive, go down to Program Files x86, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, Train Sim World 5, Windows No Editor, TS2 Prototype, Content, DLC, and here's all the game pack files. This is everything that the game recognizes. So you want to take that U model that we downloaded and actually also paste it into this folder here. Okay, so bring the U model and also paste that application into this folder here. Okay, so go ahead and open that up. You want to select export only type sound, only export sound. And for this example, we are going to do the HSP46. So find TS2 prototype, go to plugins, DLC. Here's all the DLC that you have. We're going to find Boston and Worcester, MBT, HSP46. Click on that. Some of these directories are going to be slightly different to find audio, but in this case, just follow me. Content, audio, resources, external, and here's the horn that we're looking for. Okay, so, and actually I think the sample audio I have is the interior horn, so we'll just go ahead and do the cab and go down to the interior cab horn. Okay, find that, highlight these files, and then we want to export. Make sure you export, and when you export, it should, if the directory wasn't already set, you just have to set it to this directory here. I mean, you could have it go anywhere, but it's just a lot simpler to have it exported to this folder, and you'll see it'll make a UModel export folder here. So we just go into that and find the audio we just pulled from the game. So this is very helpful if you're trying to match audio. Like, my recommendation is to actually take the audio that's in game and match that exactly, because what I've learned is if you don't match exactly sometimes the timing length of files, it just won't work right. It just won't sound right. It'll cut off and then cut in, or something won't be lined up right. So this is why I'm taking you through this step here, pulling the audio that's in the game already, just as a reference. So here we have the interior audio. So we're just going to pull Audacity back up, right? Here's the start audio I have. Unmute that. So you can see how short it is. If we take the audio that's in the game and paste that in here, you can see it's just like a hiss sound. It's just the start of the horn. So what I did, right? This is what I recommend you do, is you take the audio and you match it to be exactly the same length, okay? Exactly the same length. Especially for the start audio. The start audio always seems to be the more finicky part of the audio. So as long as the start audio starts off right, then the rest of your sound audio typically ends out being okay. So once you have the game audio, okay, in here, you take the new audio that you're modding and you put it in here and you trim it back to be the same length as this. Now, on top of it being the same length, sometimes there's a fade in and a fade out, okay? For some reason, they do this in Train Sim World. I don't know exactly how it works. I just know it works. So sometimes there'll be a fade in. So if the audio is fading in a little bit and then it's fading out, within Audacity, to do fade in and fade out effects, all you do is you would highlight a portion of the audio, again matching whatever the in-game audio is. So if it only fades in for a half a second, only highlight a half a second of your audio and go to Effect, go to Fading, Fade In, and then vice versa. If it's fading out, highlight a half a second of it fading out, and Effect, and Fading, and then fade out, and apply that to your audio. That's really typically all you have to do for the start portion of your audio. So just to recap, you take the audio from the game that you exported, which would be right here, or this is my audio. 1 second here. Sometimes it just disappears, which I hate. Here it is. Sorry. So here it is right here from the game. Copy and paste that into Audacity, and then take your new audio that you have and edit it to be the same length as this. And then if there's a fade in, copy that. If there's a fade out, copy the fade out. So that way they're practically identical, right? So once you have that start audio ready to be exported, all you're going to want to do typically is hit these 3 dots up here, and you want to split stereo to mono. And the way that works is you go ahead and split that, so there'll be 2 files. Sometimes one file sounds a little bit cleaner than the other, so you want to compare. You can mute one, okay, and listen to it, and then vice versa, mute the other, listen to the first one. Whatever one sounds a little bit cleaner, go with that one. I've noticed sometimes they sound about the same. So do that. Only save one of them. And then once you have that clip that you like that sounds the best, all you do, and make sure you get rid of the original audio. You don't want that. You only want the new audio. That was just for reference so that you could copy the original audio and into your new audio. So file, export audio. You want to name it the exact file name. This is important. This is so the game recognizes what you're changing. So whatever the name of the file from the game, this is why it's also helpful to export the audio so you get the names of the files. So for here we have SBOW HSP46 internal cab horn start. So we copy that file name and then we paste it here to the new audio that we're exporting, so that way the file name is the same. So we're basically overwriting. So then you want to go ahead and export that to any folder that you want. I just have folders on my desktop of projects. So for this one, we're just going to go to, it's the HSP4620 HSP horn. I already have it done. I'm just kind of showing you how I do it. HSP46 horn, and then I'll have, this is 2001's interior, so I'll just paste that into this folder so it's all together. So go ahead and export it to your folder. So that's really the process for doing your audio. I'll go ahead and just show you here. Basically, if you had the full length audio, okay, and you cut out the audio so that you have just the start, typically what you do is you stay within the same project, right? And you just undo. You edit, undo until you get that full length audio back. So I'll kind of show you that here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of show you here visually so that you understand how to take this audio and make it into that start file and then loop. Probably be easier to understand. So basically you have this audio here, okay, and all you really do is you highlight, okay, delete. You can use the zoom out button, zoom in, scroll down here, okay, delete, kind of get the start here, and then you'd have the start, and then you want to just, if I could highlight this right, so let's say this is your start here. All you want to do is you want to reverse this highlight bar and get rid of everything after it. So we just, you can just zoom out so it's easier, faster. Delete the rest of that, there's your start file, okay? And then once, you know, you have that situated like I just showed you, where it's already exported and everything, then you just hit edit undo and boom, it brings back your audio. Take this highlighted bar and reverse it. Get rid of the start audio here. And here's your loop. So you take the loop, same thing, find where it kind of ends. Right about there-ish. Go ahead and delete that. There's your loop. Take the loop, copy, paste, and then you want to do effect, special, reverse, and now it should be a somewhat clean loop. And if it's a not so much clean loop, all you have to do to kind of trick it, highlight this little bit here where the clips meet, go to effect, go to fading, and hit crossfade clips. And then that should basically make it smooth. See, you can't even tell where the split was. It just sounds like one long file. And then you shouldn't really have to, if you want, if it makes you feel better, you can copy and paste and then again reverse, whatever. If you want to do that, you can. I don't typically always do if it's just a loop file alone. Some files, like in Train Sim Classic, were start and loop combined, so you would have to copy and make the file like, you know, 10, I like to make them 10 to 15 seconds long if you want to be crazy and hold the horn down, you know, that long, you know. So anyway, in this, when it's just a loop file alone, you typically don't have to copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Usually this one set here, you only have to copy and paste one time, reverse it, do the crossfade effect, and you should be good to go, okay? And then it's the same thing, split stereo to mono, whatever track sounds better. These sound about the same, so I just go with the first one. Go ahead and export that audio. Again, we want it to be that same file name as the game. If I just go back to the game here real quick, it would be the internal cab horn loop. So you just copy that name and then paste that right here, and then you'd export it to whatever folder you're working on for your project. So and then once that loop is done, you just go ahead and edit, undo everything until you get that end audio sound. So, and this, make sure this bar is highlighted, right? You don't want to accidentally click off and then lose your spot where you just ended your audio. Okay, that's really helpful, you know, to pay attention to, because I think what I learned in the past was exactly that. Was I'd go to edit something, and then I'd go away from it and come back and then lose my spot. So just make sure that, you know, you keep this bar where it is right here, wherever you left off. So all you have to do is switch it, highlight the loop that you just did, and delete. And then you have your end audio to edit. So go ahead and delete the rest of this. Here's your end. And it's the same thing. Split stereo to mono, file, export. It's really not that hard once you get it down. This probably sounds like a lot of information, but, you know, after you watch this, you know, maybe you have to watch it a few more times, but after that, I tell you, you really will have this down, and it'll be like nothing. You'll just get into this, and it'll take you 5 minutes to edit audio and even put it in the game. That's probably the fastest that I can do it now, is like a solid like 5 minutes if I have no issues. If everything goes smoothly, sure, a solid 5 minutes or so, I can edit a quick piece of audio and throw it in the game, you know. But that's after you've been doing it for a while and you really have it down. So moving on. Okay, so you've made it this far. You just learned how to take audio and put it into start, loop, and end files ready for the game. So now that you have these files exported and ready to go, pull up Unreal Editor, copy these files. Go ahead, you can just drag and drop into this bar down here. Once the audio is in the bar down here, you just want to go to File, Package, Project. Depending on your operating system, if you have Windows 64-bit, go ahead and click that. You want to have this going to the TSW modding folder, and once it's set to that directory, go ahead and select, and it's going to package the project. For me, it doesn't take too long now. Like I said, the first time it'll probably have a bunch of shaders to load, and it'll probably take a little bit. It might take like 10 to 15 minutes, but that's usually only the first time. So once that's done, you'll see this new folder that's created called Windows No Editor. And all you want to do now is take that UModel application and start that up. Just hit OK this time. Find the game folder. Go ahead and highlight those 3 files. Hit Save Packages this time. Make sure it's Save Packages, okay? All we're doing is we're saving the files that we just shipped to this folder, okay? Save, and they should go to the modding folder just for simplicity, and it should create a UModel save folder. So we go ahead and hit OK. Just exit out of this, go to the UModel save folder, game. Here's the files that we're going to use to create the pack file. So copy. I just do Control A, and that highlights. It's easy. And then Control C, copy. And go back, go to the, okay, here's the next important step that I'm going to try to say. So the TS2 prototype folder, okay, this directory, whatever sound mod that it is you're doing, has to be specific to that directory, okay? So what I mean by that is if you go back to the main game folder and you go to the UModel export that you exported initially, you find this folder, TS2 prototype, go ahead and copy this folder and paste it into your modding folder, okay? It's very important that the directory is exactly the same, so that way when the pack file is in, the game is going to read that directory in the pack file, and it's going to know exactly what to overwrite in the game. So you have plugins, DLC, in this case, the MBTA HSP46, content, audio, resources, cab, interior cab horn is what we're doing. And then delete the audio that's in here, right? Because all I did was I just copied the directory. That was just the purpose. So get rid of the audio that's in there. You just want the directory set up. So take those saved files, okay, right here, UModel saved game, copy those files, go into the TS2 prototype, plugins, DLC, blah, 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 get to the interior cab horn, and paste those files right into this directory, okay? Very, very important step. Make sure that that's set up right. Then we go to the UE426 packing script text that's in here, and it should be set up just like I have it. So I have users, Black, OneDrive, desktop, TSW modding folder. So that's the directory that my modding folder is in, all right? So Unreal Pack execute from, telling it where to execute from the modding folder, right? This is the folder that all the magic is happening in, okay? Make sure that that's set up right. And then you can name the file whatever you want. In this case, we'll just name it This would be HSP-46 2001's interior horn. Okay? And keep it simple like that. So you can name the file whatever you want it to come out as. This is the pack file. This is what you're going to take and put in the game. So name it whatever you want so that you know what it is. And then it's going to create, and you want that to go back to the modding folder. So it's very simple. It's going to take that directory that's in here. It's going to pull it. It's going to name the file. It's going to create that file, or it's going to create the file and give it that name. And then it's going to put the file, the pack file, right back into the modding folder. Just, for simplicity purposes. So everything is in the same folder. So all you got to do is copy this script, go ahead and Control-C. Then here's where the shortcut comes into play. We're going to go ahead and shortcut right to the Unreal Engine folder. And we're going to Shift on your keyboard, right-click on the mouse, open PowerShell window here. And then right-click. That's the script that we copied. Right-click and then hit Enter. And then it's going to create the pack file. It should say down here, Unreal Pack executed in blank amount of seconds. 2.5 seconds is pretty good if you have a fast PC. So once you see that it says Unreal Pack executed in blank seconds, you know that the pack file has been created. So go ahead and exit out of that, exit out of this, click back once, and bam, there's your pack file. So you can go ahead and take that and copy it and paste it directly into the DLC folder where all the other pack files are in the game. Okay, I have a lot. I have DLC for Train Sim World, and I also have obviously mods in here as well. So you can see HSP46 engine pack, compressor pack, horn pack. I already have all my mods in here. So all you do is you drag and drop that into that DLC folder, and that's it. That is actually it. Once that's in there and you start the game up, it'll recognize what you just overwrited for that specific locomotive in that specific directory. In this case, this was the interior horn on the HSP46. You can do multiple. Well, my headset decided to just shut off on its own by accident. So as I was trying to say, if you want to do multiple mods at once, you can make it into one pack file. So if you're making a mod pack, say like I did for the HSP46, and you want to take the horn, the bell, the engine audio, and you want to make that just one pack file instead of 3 or 4, you can do that. Everything is the same process, and when you get to that step that you are taking the audio and putting it in the Unreal Engine, you go ahead and you ship those files to the folder, everything that you want to mod, and it's the same thing. You go to UModel, you save the packages, you take those saved packages, you paste them into the directory, but you want to paste them, okay, if it's the interior cab audio, you want to put that in the interior cab folder. If you also have the bell, let's say, you're going to have the bell folder. So you're going to want to make the bell folder. You see? You make the bell folder within the cab folder, and you take that bell audio and you would paste it in the bell folder. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. If you had and it has to be, remember, it has to be the exact name as the game has it set up to be, right? So I'll go ahead and just show you here quick. Go ahead and open UModel. Go to TS2 Prototype, Plugins, DLC, go to the, of course I'm scrolled all the way down, I need to be at the top. Go to the Boston to Worcester HSP46, content, audio, resources, external, let's do the eBell, then it would actually be called eBell. So you would need to make this, whoops, you would need to name this eBell, and then the game would recognize what you're trying to do. So you'd paste your bell audio in here, and you'd just do the same exact thing I just showed you by taking that script file, packing script, copy that, Windows 64, shortcut, open PowerShell window here, paste that in, enter, and same thing, Unreal Pack executed in 1.79 seconds. Go back, there's your pack file, has whatever audio that you had in here, bell and interior audio in this example, paste that into the game and you're good to go. So that's really all there is to it. I mean, you know, just to recap, all we did was we took audio from a YouTube video, we converted that audio to an MP3 file. We take the MP3 file into a audio editing software such as Audacity. We paste that audio in here as one piece, okay? And let me just go back to this one here instead. Go ahead and back up. So here's all your audio here. You cut the audio to make your start file. Well, whatever it is, I mean, some files may be a combined start loop, so all you do is you take the start and the loop and make that the first portion of your audio and export that, and then you would just have the end audio. But in our case, most of them have a start, loop, and end. So, you know, it's pretty simple. You take your audio, you export it, you come to the Unreal editor and paste the audio in there, file, package project, Windows 64, ship that audio to the modding folder, and then once that audio is here, oh, you know what? I'm actually forgetting an important step. If you don't want your file to be a gigabyte big, make sure you delete the Windows No Editor file. Delete that file and then create your pack file, okay? Make sure that Windows No Editor file is gone. You don't need that anymore. And he actually does tell you that in here in the README if you read this through. He tells you somewhere in here to delete it. Right here, step 7. Delete the Windows No Editor file. Will cause the final file to include the entire project, which is unneeded. So apparently I didn't read that before, and all my files were 1 gigabyte big, and since then I've learned that. I've reread this and realized that was the problem. So make sure that's gone. That way when your pack file is done, as you can see here, it's 408 kilobytes right now. So actually, if we were to go ahead and do that again, now that the Windows No Editor file is gone, go ahead and copy the script real quick. Open PowerShell window, enter. See it executed in like a quarter of a second. It went even faster. And there it is, almost 1,200 kilobytes. That's what it should be. Anyway, that's really about it. If you have any questions or if I left something out in this video that you're not sure of, feel free to message me and ask me. I want people to learn how to do this, so it's fun to do. It's a fun hobby to do sound modding for Train Sim. Dovetail recently has gotten better at doing audio, I will admit, but if there's a certain horn that you like, that you want, it's nice to know how to do this, and once you have it down, it's really not that bad. It doesn't take that long to do. It's really not that bad once you have it down. So anyway, That's all. I know this video is a little bit long now, but it is what it is. You know, watch it through again if you have to. You'll get it down eventually. So hopefully this helps. And have a good one, guys. Take care.